Yeah. Why don't you make that while I go get my beer?
I will make that. Boy, is it just me or is Gary really choppy?
Gary's a little rough tonight.
Okay, good.
Both in video and audio.
Sorry.
I'm
My kids are probably streaming.
looking to assign blame. I'm just making sure it wasn't me. Do you like my new positioning?
Yes. I'll go with yes.
Well, I mean, I have a new setup for working from home.
I did notice that we have a better backdrop now.
Well, it's actually just
the library and such.
It's just pivoted 90 degrees.
I like it.
Because they have the...
you have some interest behind you now.
I have a new setup for... You can't really see very well, but dual monitors and docking station and stuff for when I need to work out from home.
That's very lovely.
So
I cannot seem to grab the fucking link. Okay, come on. Come on.
14. Today is 6/2/2016. And Trappist. Oh, all I have to do is edit the 8 down to a 6. That's nice. This is,
do you have it, by the way? Did you get it ever?
Yeah. That was I got that originally, the 6 and the 10.
Oh, I thought
it was the 8 that I couldn't get.
You were missing.
Nope. It was the 8.
Excellent.
Delicious.
I was disparaging you unnecessarily. I apologize.
Oh, so we did have a document because someone's put in some topics.
Might have been Jeremy. You might have been working on it.
Why is Keith excited about Old Tankard Ale? Was that from last week?
That was from last week.
We really need to do some... Oh, I get it. These are topics. I wasn't here. I remember now. Okay.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you guys start without me?
Nope.
No. Gary, would you do me a favor?
Maybe.
Will you put a link in the comments for me for the show? Because I can't seem to copy it.
A link like to
the live feed.
Is that on Google Plus or?
Yeah, I mean I see it on the bottom here. Normally Jeremy does it for me because I can't seem to do it. I don't know why. I can see it, but I can't copy and paste it for some reason. Ah, got it. Never mind. I'm good.
Okay, good. You know what? My family, I'm having issues with them tonight. I came home, and my lovely wife says, "Are you doing your nerd casting tonight?"
Ouch.
And I said, "I never do that." So, and then after I walked away, she and my younger daughter had a conversation.
Oh my gosh, Gary.
Yeah. What?
It sounds like you're speaking through.
Pretty bad.
My audio is really bad.
Yeah, and your video.
Yeah,
but mostly the audio.
Huh.
You're like underwater all of a sudden.
I wonder if I should reboot. I haven't rebooted my computer for a while. Could be that. Like a couple of weeks.
Oh, dude. Reboot that.
Alright, I'm going to reboot. I'll be right back.
Couple of weeks.
I have Windows 10, so it should reboot really fast.
Okay, good. See you in a few. Oh, you have to have it there. It's not pasting. Oh, come on now. This is so hard. Why is it so hard? It shouldn't be so hard. There. I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to paste. I want to press. Success. Yay! Okay, so somehow we've now lost Gary and Rob, and I'm the only one on the air. Outstanding. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, Alpha Geek listeners. It's me, Keith, from the PNRShow. Suddenly alone. I used to have co-hosts, but due to the wonderful world of the internet, they're now gone. And I'm here in the pre-show by myself. Maybe I should send them invites again. Maybe that would be a good idea. All right, so Rob and Gary. Send them again. Okie dokie. Now we wait.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Little dust to the soundboard while we wait for the gents to reconnect. Oh, Rob's back.
Yeah, my regular laptop decided that this was the exact moment it needed to update to Windows 10.
Oh.
I put it off and put it off and put it off, and I didn't look at the calendar, and the countdown happened, and so I'm using a different computer.
Sweet.
We'll see how this goes.
Your camera's going in and out of focus, but you sound lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
Which is the big part. We're live on Alpha Geek for the pre-show.
Hi, Alpha
which was
Geek.
just me for a little while, and so I was playing best of the soundboard. For
That is a problem if it's just you.
It is definitely a problem.
Anytime it's just you. How do I fix this?
Like, suddenly realized why I don't do a solo show.
I've been contemplating doing a solo show on a different topic, obviously.
I think you should do a solo show and then have me on as a guest.
You know, honestly, I've been thinking about doing. I'm serious now. I'm serious as a heart attack. I've been thinking about doing a Battlestar Galactica weekly podcast.
That's oddly out of time.
Well, I'm doing it because inspired by two gentlemen that are doing a West Wing weekly podcast.
Oh, yeah.
One of them being Josh Molina, who was on the show.
I could do that. I could do the West Wing weekly podcast.
It's really good, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm still watching West Wing.
Yeah, I just finished watching it not too long ago. Where the freak is the... Oh, there we go, auto zoom. It's different on this camera, that's why. All right, let me see my face here. See if I can...
Looks pretty good now.
Oh, that's zoom.
It was fading in and out of focus, but it seems to have settled down.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, I thought they basically take one episode a week and just kind of talk about bigger issues, different things, and I thought that BSG would be a perfect show to do that with as well. So just something I'm toying with.
Mm.
Maybe doing a a PNR spin-off show.
Well, you certainly could expand the PNR network.
Absolutely, that is also one of the other goals.
Just keep throwing stuff in the YouTube channel until some people start watching.
I know what
a spin-off?
I know what a devotee you are of BSG. So
I am a fan. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm a fan. Might be a fun summer project.
Are we talking about doing a spin-off show from PNRShow?
Yeah.
Rob was discussing he's thinking about doing a solo show, and then he was thinking about doing a BSG show. And I don't know if they're the same show.
It is the same show. It is. It would be much nicer to have someone to talk to about it than.
Well, since I just started rewatching BSG, that would be good.
Would that be something
you'd be interested in?
Listen, if you wanted to turn this show into a beer and then discuss Battlestar Galactica podcast, I'm all in. Save me from having to gather topics every week.
You haven't even done that for 2 weeks.
Shh! A great thing to do for the summer.
It might be a fun summer thing to do.
Well, I mean, you only get so far in the summer if you're doing one episode a week.
I can rip the Blu-rays I had and send them to Keith and Jeremy.
Ooh, then we'd have to do show prep, like watch the show.
You have to watch a show, yes. Actually, most of these episodes I could talk about in my sleep.
Actually,
we're live, so I'm not going to rip those. Sorry.
So Cindy would watch them with me, and she'd probably join us too.
There you go.
There you go. It's a family thing.
But does Jeremy watch BSG?
He does if we send him the Blu-rays.
He doesn't watch anything.
He probably doesn't have a Blu-ray player. You probably have to send them to him in film.
You might have to send him a television.
No, a Laserdisc. We concluded last week it's Laserdisc.
Oh, right. That's what he has. He has Laserdisc.
So, Rob, did you actually make a document, or did you just talk about it?
I did. No, I did. It should be up there. I had to switch computers, so that's one of the problems. And it might have been stored in my own folder because I was right in the middle of doing it when I got canned.
You made a document, but it's only for you.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to. It was.
You shared it with all the important people.
Right. So okay. Sure.
Right now I'm just trying to sign into Google so I can try to get to it. There we go.
Did somebody put in?
I did. Hold on. I'm getting it. Just pull it up the. Oh, there it is. Okay, so move.
Jeremy's going to be right on time by the time we get going.
Move to Point of No Return. Okay.
Yeah, we're actually going to have to kick this off soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just moved the doc to. It's in Point of No Returns folder. I haven't finished formatting it. It should be there now. Okay.
Haven't I proved enough that we don't actually need the doc to function as a show?
Well, we do because I actually use that for segues.
Did someone say segue?
Gary, was your pick last week literally Battlestar Galactica Blu-ray import?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny that I was thinking of this totally separately from this.
Rob, you ought to listen to our show occasionally.
You should just say I listened to the show and that's where I got the idea.
If I may,
of course
I've been dealing with some natural disaster issues lately.
Right.
I don't know if you've been watching the news.
That's a great excuse. But we all know that you don't listen to the show anyway, so
it's a phenomenal excuse because it's true.
Well, it may be, but you still wouldn't have listened to the show.
Yeah, I have listened to the show when I've not been on it.
We have a different link for the story.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
I'll try to come up with a pick as the show progresses.
I have a pick. You can take mine. That's what you usually do.
Nope. I actually mine was up first last time, and you had the same idea. So there you go.
I'm
going to do.
Do you think we could maybe kick off the show? Since we're into our hour now.
You can kick whatever you want.
My goodness. Feeling feisty, are we?
I actually have not seen that yet, Gary. So you have it all to yourself.
No, it's not gonna be. I'm gonna do 2 picks. All right. Yeah, let's start the show. We just have one topic up.
Yeah, at the moment.
And you know what? That's okay.
We could
I'm
probably
okay with
do
a simple topic.
we could probably do the whole segment on that specific topic. It
Maybe.
has a lot of facets to it.
Okay.
I like when Rob says facet.
You say facet or flaccid?
Facet.
Oh, it might have been faucet.
I said fat sit.
I have one of those right here on my ass.
All right, we have 2 minutes to start.
Yeah.
Ready? I can
No,
just start anytime because we're live already.
Hi, Alpha Geek. Ready for the show? Behind the
Alpha
scenes.
Geek, it's the best pre-shows.
My cheeks are red.
That's from all of the terrible weather you're having.
It's from all the crying.
All right. Gentlemen, this is PNRShow Season 3, Episode 14, simply titled Rochfort 6.
Rochefort!
America, it's Rochfort.
Rochefort is from Rochester. Rochefort.
Which 50% of this podcast is.
From a deep, dark, rarely used corner of the interwebs, coming to you live on Alpha Geek Radio and streaming via podcast, it's a Pint of No Return show. The show that takes one beer each week and dissects it appropriately with vim, vigor, humor, and all-around snarkiness. Tonight, we discuss Rochefort numero 6. And are we living in the Matrix? Plus, our pick segments for the week. Well, sit back, relax, grab yourself a beer, Rochefort 6, hopefully, if you have it, and join Jeremy, Keith, and Rob for the Pint of No Return show. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
I'm Jeremy tonight.
I did not say Jeremy. I said Gary, didn't I?
No, you absolutely said Jeremy.
Oh, I haven't done that in a long time. I have
Well,
not
for the
done that
first
in a
2
while.
weeks.
Not done that in a while.
Par for the course.
Gary.
That's okay. We're doing great.
Gary. So I am still trying to bail out of flood-soaked southeast Texas. If you've been watching the news, and I know that you have, if you're watching the news, Montgomery County, Texas has been on the news a lot lately, and that's the county where I live. Yeah. We have been deluged with about 24 inches of rain over the last 2 weeks, and it kind of, holy crap. Yeah, it's bad. And we've had some power problems and issues and flooding issues, of course. Thankfully, our house is up on a little bit of a hill. I have always said to people who've asked about flooding in Texas, I said, well, if our house or our neighborhood floods, the world has bigger problems. Well, apparently last week the world had bigger problems because we were darn close to having water inside our house.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
What's that mean for Gator Watch?
Supposedly when the floodwaters come, and when I tell you last week, and I was kind of in and out on the show, mostly in and then out on the show last week. Yeah, mostly out. Supposedly, I've never seen rain like this before. But supposedly when you have flooding like this, it really brings the critters, the snakes and gators and even fire ants that transport down the water and get deposited in people's yards. Fortunately, knock on wood, I haven't seen any of that yet. But thankfully, my work has allowed me to be work from home the last 2 days, so I haven't had to brave it. My brother-in-law, it took 2.5 hours to get home last night.
Wow.
Because of the weather. So, yeah, it's been pretty bad, and it's still bad, although it's more intermittent now. It rains like God is about to open up his bag of water on top of us, which basically is what's happening. But now that only happens for 10 or 15 minutes as opposed to 6 or 7 hours. So by Sunday we're supposed to clear out, and it's supposed to be clear and cool and sunny for a week.
Wow. Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Sorry to hear. Glad you're okay. Glad we're safe.
We are okay. My commutes a couple times were decidedly hairy. So, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about beer.
Let's talk about beer.
And we are going to wrap up this evening. And unfortunately, Jeremy could not be with us this evening.
Actually, he's going to jump in later. He's you didn't know this, but he's actually traveling, and he and his brother are going to join us for this week's beer.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Well, possibly late because they're just sitting down to dinner, but the plan is for them to jump in at some point.
That's awesome. Well, we want to conclude our Trappists, or our Trappist Rochefort segment.
Rochfort.
We've gone backwards in time. We've done a Merlin and done the 10, then the 8, and this evening we do the 6. So far we've had wonderful success with the Trappist guys. Listen, when you have nothing else to do in your life but pray and make beer, you do a pretty good job of it.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Their beer-making prayers have definitely helped out.
So, we've got...
This is a religion I can get behind.
This is a 7.5%. This is a 7.5% alcohol by volume beer, so it's kind of in the middle of the other two.
It's actually the lowest of the 3. That's okay.
I thought the middle one was a 5. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else.
No, they seem to go roughly to the numbers. So
Okay.
it was near an 8. It was like a little more than 8. The 10 was about a 12.
This is definitely a lighter aroma than the other two.
Yeah. Still that fruity, yeasty nose on it, though.
It smells like a lager.
It does smell like a lager.
That had Belgian yeast used.
And it pours a little like a lager. This one is a little bit lighter. The head is much more thin, less sudsy, if you will.
I know, I'm getting pretty significant head. But then I always do.
Mine was there, and now it's gone real fast.
Definitely a lot more.
I hope mine disappears because I've got about half a head here.
Much more fruity notes when you pour.
Yeah, a lot.
Definitely the
lot
latest
more
color so far.
Yeah,
almost,
latest color.
Almost a light amber.
All right, are we ready? I know Gary's ready.
I'm just finishing my pour here. Thankfully, the head does go down quickly.
So this is...
That's what she said. What up, Bill?
This is the oldest of the Rochefort Trappist beers. It was brewed empirically until the end of the Second World War. Until 1958, this is the only one of their beers that was bottled in the 33cc bottles and the 75, so the bigger and smaller bottles. It says it has a strong malt taste and is slightly bitter. We'll see about that.
All right, let's do this, shall we? Our last of the Trappist series, Prost.
I'll tell you this, you guys, before I'm just going to show this off real quick before I drink it away. But there was some sediment at the bottom, and it ended up on my head. I have a dirty head. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some leftovers in the bottom of my bottle. It's back in. Oh, that's good. It's like the first one we said it would be great on a winter night, or with a nice fire and maybe a good bourbon chaser. This is kind of the opposite. It's about 80 degrees here in Petaluma today, a nice warm day, and this feels like the kind of beer that I could drink on an 80-degree day.
Absolutely.
It's kind of I don't want to say it's the opposite, but it's like the yin and the yang with the 10 and the 6 in terms of the Trappist beer.
Yeah.
It's very, very quenchy.
It's got all the flavor, but it lost like some of the richness in the body, I think. But that definitely makes it a little more approachable, a little more quaffable.
Yeah. Approachable is a good word.
It's another damn fine beer. That's all I know.
For sure, absolutely. Trappist are 3 for 3.
Yeah.
It's not as. I also would go out on a limb and say that it's not as sweet as the others have been. It had the fruity notes to it, but it's not particularly sweet or nearly as sticky as was it the 10. That was really sticky.
Yeah, it was really sticky.
This is not that at all.
No. It's good. So.
It's got some lager notes to it, but it's a little heartier, a little more body to it than a traditional lager.
It definitely is the most beer-like of them, because this is starting to approach. You can tell if they'd make a 4, it would probably be like a blonde, and then the 2 would definitely be like a Pabst.
Yeah. So probably
good to stop at 6, but yeah, you can definitely see it on the way down. There's almost a corn flavor to the back end of this, like you'd find in a PBR or something.
So it's just really pleasant.
Yeah,
it's very pleasant. I'm gonna go ahead and give this an 8. It would be hard for me, even though I prefer obviously the lighter beers. This would be the furthest on that side of the spectrum. I would be hard pressed to pick a favorite of the 3. Every one of them has been just different enough that they have their own kind of personality and kind of feel to them, and this is really good on its own, in its own right. So this would be an 8 for me. I think I gave 8s to all of them.
Yeah, you're 8 across the board on all of the Trappist beers.
What do you guys think?
I'm actually going to agree with you on the rating. It's an 8. It's good. It's got a lot of flavor. It's got a nice profile in terms of the aroma balanced with the flavor. It's not especially bitter. I mean, there's more bitterness, but they called it bitter. But I guess I'm just kind of used to all those big IPAs that get really bitter. So to me, this is not a bitter beer. But it's really good. I like the light body. I like the way. I guess the mouthfeel would be the right word for it. It's really good. Feels good going down. I could definitely drink more of these in a row than I could of the other ones. The other beers to me kind of felt like, when you say the word ale, the 8 and the 10 kind of were really good examples of what an ale is. This is not quite as much of that strong, rich ale, so I give it a slightly lower rating than the other ones, but an 8 is a solid beer. It's really good. Definitely worth having and trying out.
Yeah, I'm right in there as well. I think, like I said, it dropped a little bit of the body and a little bit of the richness of the other 2, but I think it had to, as it drops in alcohol as well. I think, they've kind of really nailed, in this one, I think they nailed the ale style. And I do get the bitterness in this, especially when you compare it to the other ones. But you can definitely get the bitterness on the back end of this. And just if you think about what a British or European considers a bitter beer, this kind of fits right in there with that stuff just fine. Definitely more of the bitter style, which is doesn't come close to what the American IPAs and double IPAs do now, but it's definitely kind of a classic bitter flavor. So if you like that kind of thing, you definitely would like this. And a couple of these on the ice in the cooler would be great. On a hot summer day, no doubt about it. I could drink these all the time if they weren't just a little bit on the pricey side. But
$5 a bottle is pretty.
Yeah, $5 a bottle is a little rough to have in the cooler.
Yeah.
But hey, we've done worse in the name of great beer. So who knows? There may be a summer 6-pack of this coming for me sometime. But yeah, I'm in the 8 camp too. This is a great beer. I don't think it goes over the top like the other 2 did to hit that 10 mark, but it's real solid. It's real good. I think if you're doing the series with us, you got to have all 3. I think you probably agree with us. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Jeremy joins us. If he doesn't, then this one gets an even 8. Obviously, we all three gave it 8. So it's the lowest rated of the 3 beers that we've done so far. But we'll see if Jeremy joins us and brings it up.
He says he's trying to get on Wi-Fi now, according to.
Oh, good luck with that.
So I don't know what that means.
So Beer Advocate gave this beer, the Bros gave it a 94, and the reviews, which there are 964, gives it a 92 rating.
Wow.
So yeah,
It's pretty good.
It's very high.
very, very high score on Beer Advocate. The Untapped score is just about a 4. So not quite. It's like 3.8 average on Untapped. So Beer Advocate definitely higher. Beer Advocate probably, no, actually Untapped has way more ratings. So we are right in line with the general consensus of Untapped.
Very good. All right,
Yeah,
so
I think Untapped is probably starting to take over finally the Beer Advocate ratings.
Yeah, well, Beer Advocate
Interesting to
has
see those
964 reviews, and Untapped has almost 34,000 ratings for this beer.
Wow.
Significantly more.
Little bit of data there on Untapped, and we're all on Untapped. So if you're watching this at home, just hit us up with a friend and request that says something like PNRShow. Listen to PNRShow or something. We'll be sure to add you to our list. You can follow along at home.
So Trappist, I mean, probably the most solidly awesome series we've done. I mean, we had the Shiner series a ways back that most of them were just fantastic and the guys all loved them, but there were one or two that for whatever reason one or two of the guys didn't really care for, but all
and I
three
don't
of
think
these
we ever got to like 10s across the
No.
board on any of those either. But yeah,
No, but I just mean they what I meant to say is that they were pretty solidly consistently good
Yeah, no, I
on
agree.
our part with a couple of hit or misses, but I think these are even more so just solids. I mean, do we even have a rating below an 8 for any of these beers from any of us?
No.
8 is the lowest rating which we gave
That's
this beer,
outstanding.
which is fantastic. So
Yeah.
So definitely worth a
Although-
buy. Save your nickels and dimes to go get them.
Yeah. Jeremy's brother's coming on. He could be a wild card and drag this one down.
yeah, I mean we got a guest reviewer in theory.
See how that
Send an
goes.
invite to them, so I don't know if they got it or what.
Do we dare move on to a topic, or should we just kind of banter while we?
We
can
can
banter.
play soundboard roulette.
Yeah. No, you know what? I want to talk about my Fellowship of the Ring. So I really want to delve into maybe doing this BSG podcast. Hey, folks out there, I've been thinking about doing a spin-off series, and independently of that, I guess last week on the show, Gary was talking about a Blu-ray release or Blu-ray export of some BSG episodes, and I'm thinking about doing a weekly podcast where we discuss a BSG episode. And both Gary and Keith were interested in possibly doing that. So what we'd love for you is some feedback, and let us know if that was something you'd be interested in listening to. I know Aaron out there, my buddy Aaron, is not a BSG fan. Goes to great lengths to tell me he isn't. No.
We can't lose our only listener.
We won't lose him. We won't, because I will tell you.
We can't turn him away.
We won't lose him.
Aaron, what do you want us to do, Aaron?
Yeah, he really did not like the reboot of BSG, but he is a big fan of the...
Oh, we weren't talking the original BSG?
No. He is a big fan of the BSG board game that it's based on, which is an awesome hidden role, like there's a traitor or a Cylon hidden among the players, and it's a great game. He loves that game, he just does not like the series. So I trust that he will stick with us for that and follow us right over if we decided to do a spin-off show. But the rest of you out there, I know there are some geeks out there that will love to hear about BSG, and I think that just by doing that show and plugging this show on that show, we get more listeners here. too.
Well, the interesting thing would be to do might be, and we talked about this as well, which is an option, is maybe we start it on this show.
Yeah, we could do
and
that.
replace the summer topic segment with BSG discussion, a show a week. We could kind of run with it, and then at the end of the summer, if we're done with that on this show, we'll spin it out to its own show.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we go back to what we're doing there, or we keep this running with this show and maybe others in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we can talk a little bit more about that. I mean, it's certainly. I think it's time to do it again. I mean,
with 2 shows is I don't know if I can pull off 2 shows a week.
Well, it'd be something. I mean, it'd be something that would rest with me. I would do that show.
Well, I understand that.
And I mean, as far as I don't mean do it myself, but I mean as far as running it, and so if Keith, you weren't able to be there, I could still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand.
So the BSG reboot series came out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah. So they had a run of a few years after that. So it's been
4 seasons.
Yeah, and plus kind of those other little mini things like Razor and things that they did. So it's been a while. I mean, it's been a while since it was broadcast. So
Yeah.
kind of revisiting it 10+ years later, not a bad idea.
The reason I brought this up to the guys is I've been listening to a new podcast that's been out recently called The West Wing Weekly, which features a new consecutive episodes of The West Wing. Each week they discuss a different one, and it's hosted by a composer in Hollywood, as well as Joshua Malina, who was on the show for I think 3 or 4 seasons. And they have guests, they have cast members that come on, they have technical people from the show to talk about a different show each week, and it's really fascinating to hear their perspectives. I have watched West Wing all the way through, I think maybe 4 times. I just finished it actually about a week or so ago. For whatever reason, it's probably my favorite. That and BSG, I would say, probably my favorite dramas of all time. I cannot get enough of The West Wing, and it's really interesting to hear the actors' perspectives because a lot of them haven't even watched the episodes that they're talking about since they've done them. Like they'll watch the episode for that week, like they'll come back and watch it, and it's really interesting to hear their perspective on when they haven't even really been in that space for 10, 12 years.
So will you be able to book some of the BSG actors to do?
That's probably going to be up in the air. I think Edward James Olmos is a solid maybe.
Katie Sackhoff's busy doing her Longmire thing, so she's
Katie
probably not
Sackhoff's,
available.
yeah, and Grace Park is on Hawaii 5-0, and
Yeah,
Amy
it
Beck.
might be tough.
Yeah, it's
So
maybe we can get like Callie or
Apollo.
Gata. Maybe we can get Gata.
Yeah, he would work.
But I think that would work. I think that would be a really fun show to talk about because there's certainly a lot to chew on. I've really trying to fill as much as possible.
I've got no response from Jeremy, so let's just push on.
All right. So one of the boys suggested a topic for us today. Elon Musk, or is it Elon Musk? Elon Musk was at a conference in Southern California called the Code Conference, and in it he said that there's only a 1 in a billion chance, or 1 in billions chance, that the reality in which we are living is the quote-unquote base reality, meaning the reality that all others are based on. He says, more than likely, we are part of a computer simulation. We're the Matrix, dudes. We are the Matrix.
Yeah, this is a theory that's been bandied about a lot, especially recently, but for a long time. That theory goes back probably to the mid-'70s at least.
Yeah, but he's actually a smart guy, and he said it. A lot of those are just, the Earth is flat kind of people.
Yeah, they're just scientists who work in the field. They just don't happen to be, billion-dollar life-changing,
Elon
entrepreneur.
Musk has a lot of money, therefore his opinion matters.
That's right. Well, you're right.
I mean, Elon Musk has a lot of
because
money.
It's the Matrix.
Elon Musk has a lot of money, therefore he has a lot of spare time.
That's true. So
Wait a second. Let's just squash that right now. This dude runs several huge businesses, including SpaceX. So no, this is one of the hardest.
I'm a
guys out
huge
there.
fan of SpaceX.
SpaceX. He runs that crazy car company that's taking over the world. There's a few things out there. He open sources projects he doesn't have time for, like that huge suction tube they're putting into California.
Mm-hmm. He said that the strongest argument that he has for us being a simulation is that 40 years ago we had Pong, which is 2 rectangles and a dot. That's where we were, he said. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. And soon we'll have virtual reality, we'll have augmented reality. If you assume any rate of improvement in all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality, just indistinguishable. So I guess the argument there is if we can do that and we can approach that kind of reality within our electronic and computer simulated worlds, then what's to say that we aren't already part of one of those things that a much higher advanced race has developed, millions or even thousands of years before us?
Well, I think it's you're going on a limb to say higher advanced race. When you look around at your own life, can you really prove that it's a better, more higher, more advanced race that's controlling this?
I mean, yeah. If Donald Trump,
Trump for president alone signifies that possibly not a higher race, probably on the same par, and maybe slightly more advanced. That's it.
But I think that Trump running for president and having a chance of winning is actually an indicator that
it is a simulation.
It's a simulation, and somebody is playing a very cruel joke.
No, yeah, no.
Well, let me
agree with this.
Let me go in a slightly different direction with this.
Hi, Jeremy. Yes, you're here.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
If you are...
You have to drink your beer fast.
Yeah, drink your beer. If you are a Christian...
Don't do it outside? Yeah.
If you are a Christian, then you believe that God created this world, created this reality, created us. And if you believe that, and you believe that we are a part of this whole big creation, that isn't that another way of saying we're part of an artificial reality created by a more advanced being, and that reality that he or she or it lives in is the real reality, is the base reality, as Elon Musk. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Yeah, totally, it is, and it does lend credence to the fact that I've always thought God's real name was Steve.
Just like the answer to everything is 42.
It frightfully is, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you're saying is God is a really kick-ass computer programmer?
Well, I mean,
again, I'm going to point to my life as an example and say, kick-ass. I'm going to go with adequate at best. Seriously, dude, you could do better.
Well, listen, if you've ever played SimCity, you can be really, really detailed about certain parts of the city, and then at some point during the game, you grow weary of it, and you just kind of let it go and do its own thing for a while. Yeah. So tornadoes start showing up and knocking over buildings, or Godzilla will come up out of the ocean and destroy one of your seacoasts.
That's what happened to your place in Texas.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you look back and say, "Oh, wait, what happened?" So now I got to go in and or you let Trump come in and run for presidency, and you've got to go in and fix it. So I mean, a lot of people who were Christians or spiritual have put forth the idea of intelligent design. Well, I mean, that's kind of exactly what Elon Musk is talking about.
I like to think of them as Stevians.
I think that
you wanted
religious or Christian, Stevians will serve.
Yeah.
And the fact that you keep calling him Elon, even though his name is Elon,
Elon.
is more proof that the simulation has gone awry and needs adjustment.
There's a bug. There's a bug in my pronunciation matrix.
Yeah.
I think that him coming to this conclusion, making this statement, is evidence that his avatar in our simulation is actually the avatar for the creator of the simulation.
He does kind of look like an avatar.
Yeah, he's dropping a hint. It's the creator dropping a hint that it's not real.
Well, if you going all the way back to one of Keith and my favorite book series, The Dark Tower, we're just all little atoms on a blade of grass anyway.
Blade of grass, sitting in the morning sun.
I am reading The Dark Tower right now. I started that after you
For the
guys
first
talked
time?
about it.
Spoiler,
Yeah.
sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you you're in the first book?
No, second book.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
he's already read the Blade of Grass part.
He's already
Okay,
passed the
yeah.
blade of grass. Good.
Yeah, read
Oh, we ruined it for you.
the Grade of Blast part.
How's that? See, Gary has a
That's
blip in his pronunciation matrix.
That was my cue for Jeremy to drink beer.
Hey guys.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey,
Hi
Jeremy's
there,
brother.
Jeremy and Jeremy's brother's shoulder.
You guys need to lean in.
Oh, there they are.
I need to get a
go.
mug.
Wow, look at, are they not brothers or what?
I know. Grab each of you a mug of number 6 and chug it. This is a brother competition now.
Is this chuggable?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Try hard enough.
Quaffable, but not chuggable.
Where are you
Compared
podcasting
to the
from?
10, this is totally chuggable.
They're in Clearfield, Utah, in the backyard of my brother's place.
Nice.
He bootlegged this in.
They have internet in Utah?
They don't let Trappist in
I thought you
in
couldn't use
Utah.
the internet past like 6 o'clock.
We're using the phone as a hotspot. Whoa, this stuff has got a head on it.
Oh,
That's
man.
what
It's alright. It fades fast.
Is drinking beer even? Are we like breaking a city ordinance or something?
Several. We're okay.
Okay.
It's clear.
Come on, one of my favorite craft breweries is out of Utah.
You know what? Utah is on my list of places I really want to visit.
I've been there several times.
Yeah, really want to visit.
Park City is amazing.
Train's a nice touch. Yeah. Do you like the train?
Can't hear it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's being filtered out just fine.
I hear someone's wife in the background. That you cannot avoid but hearing.
I think that might be mine.
They have those audio signals just go straight to your spine. All
Rob's
right.
having
It was a
flashbacks.
trip in the airplane, but this head is not going down for me. Yours is fine. Mine's fine.
Is it the elevation?
So, Jeremy, you actually brought contraband into the state of Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right,
transported
good job.
across state lines.
Yeah, beer that's over 4%. More importantly, beer that hasn't been taxed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Root of the problem.
No
The
fermentation without representation.
magic of tax, even in Utah.
Yeah, Jeremy, you got an aggressive pour on that thing.
Yeah, have you done this before, Jeremy?
You do know how to pour beer,
You
right?
kind of tilt the glass to the side, dude, and you kind of pour it in that way.
You can't just tip it upside down. Drop it in.
Okay.
I think the problem is he's not used to being on level ground. You know, being out of San Francisco, he's probably used to pouring on a hill.
And did somebody hit you in the face?
Oh, so, Harry, you gotta get a close up of this.
He's with his brother. Of course,
I don't
someone hit
need
him
a
in the
close
face.
up. I can see you look like you're like a Bond villain.
Oh my gosh!
So my I bought my my little niece a tattoo pen kit so you can draw.
She
I'm not
tattooed
even-
tears on you?
I've got tears.
So that means you murdered somebody.
While he was in prison, right?
I've got my name on my head. I might have a little goatee. I don't know if she did the goatee. So yeah, I'm all tatted up.
I personally think you're doing it to cover up bruises, and it's okay. You can admit it.
Yeah.
This is a safe place.
There's no shame.
So Jeremy, are you the older brother or the younger brother?
Much older.
Oh.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you... Jeremy, what's your brother's name?
Scott.
Scott. Scott, do you ever watch...
So, Scott, this is Rob on the screen. Over here we have Gary. He's in Petaluma. Rob's in Texas, and this is Keith. He's in New York.
Hey, dude.
So Scott, tell me, do you ever watch things like movies or television?
On occasion.
I mean, when's on occasion? Like rarely, or like with a regular frequency?
Okay, wait a second. Do you own a television?
Yes.
Do you go to the movies?
That's it. I mean, we're done at that point because Jeremy does not.
Do you go to the movies?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe Keith and Gary, what we have here is an audition happening.
So, okay, I have the perfect question to ask Scott if it's an audition. Hey, Scott, just repeat after me. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
All right. He's a little bit more, aggression in that, and it'll be
Yeah,
perfect.
I kind of think he might mean it. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
So
It
Jeremy,
doesn't sound old.
So Jeremy, no rush to get home. Scott, you might fill in. I think you'll find that the salary is right. All right, so you've taken a couple pulls of that. What do you guys think of the beer?
So you watched it before, right? So we talk about the beer, give some thoughts on it, and then we rate it on a scale of we're doing what 1 to 10.
Yes, sir.
You're in Utah, so maybe 13.
Going on 3 years now.
No, go ahead. Go first.
I like it. It's sweet, not too sweet. I've never seen a beer that pulled up sediment into the head before.
I had that too.
We were talking about that before you came on. Yeah.
It looks like somebody put nutmeg all over it.
Yes, it does.
Right. It self-decorates. Makes it very festive.
Are you liking it?
I am. I like it quite a bit.
What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would give it probably an 8.
Hey!
Oh,
So
Good
far,
man. I like Scott.
that's 4 8s.
4 8s in a row.
That's what I was thinking too.
Wow, it's across the board.
And
5 for 5. It's a solid 8. Wow.
It's not quite as good as the 8 and the 10.
Right.
A little lighter flavor, I think. Not quite as much complexity.
Definitely lost some of the richness. A little more approachable.
Yeah, not as complex. Still, a really good beer. I think Trappist are doing a good job over there. So yeah, I give it an 8. I'd drink it again.
Very
I would
good.
buy the can.
That's awesome. You're consistently across the board with 8s on this. And the Trappist have all been consistently great. So
Those monks
God
know what
bless
they're
those
doing.
monks.
They're clearly doing God's work.
Absolutely.
Or, as we were just saying, Steve's.
Yeah. the
Or
computer-
Elon's. Or Elon's.
So guys,
Possibly Elon's.
So guys, in Utah, I'm sure you get news on occasion. You've heard? Have you heard Elon Musk putting forth the idea that we're all just part of a big computer simulation?
Was he serious about that?
He's serious as Elon Musk can be.
Yeah.
No, that's the first I've heard of it.
But one of the things that at least I was saying that is, if you're a spiritual person at all, well, then I mentioned Christian because that's my background. But if you're other faiths, you also believe that there was a God who created things, and so in a sense, people who are spiritual could basically also believe that we're just part of someone else's created reality, right?
Yeah, but isn't that different than a simulation?
It depends on what your definition of simulation
Well,
is.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably split hairs on that, but one man's simulation is another man's created reality for his disciples.
Oh, that playing we heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came out here so it would be quiet.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
my question also would be is if we are in a computer simulation, who do we go to get a patch from? Clear up some of these bugs.
Yeah, I definitely got issues that need upgrading.
Yeah, I'd like to redesign my avatar if I could.
Yeah, mine's.
Yeah, I need an upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, I've also got butterflies on my fingernails.
What has
Oh,
happened
see-
to you?
Jeremy got his upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, tattoos and butterflies.
Clearly, Jeremy's gotten some reprogramming.
You got some butterflies on.
And if we are part of a computer simulation, what purpose would that serve? Is it like the Matrix, where they're feeding off our bioenergy, or is it like Ready Player One, where someone else is kind of playing us inside a simulation? What would it be?
Musk probably thinks the purpose is to develop electric cars, and once that's done, the simulation ends.
Well, develop electric cars, go to
It says
Mars,
end of line, game over.
You know, build a 400-mile-an-hour train between San Francisco and L.A.
Land a SpaceX rocket on a floating platform.
Yeah, he's already done that.
Which is,
That's
I
old
believe,
news.
that's one of the cooler things I've ever seen.
But the
No
hyper.
doubt.
Yes, that is.
No, not the Hyperloop. The landing of the
SpaceX
Falcon.
rocket landing on a floating platform.
Yeah, on a barge in the middle of the ocean.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Hyperloop is cool, though, definitely, and I want to see that finished.
Yeah. I don't know.
I see it.
Only if the simulation goes on.
That's true. Only if the simulation goes on.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely an interesting theory.
Could someone reboot the server, though?
That's right.
Seriously. My life's starting to decay a little too fast.
Yeah, I want to know if it's if there is an update coming, or if they're kind of add-on features, pay features, in-app purchases that we can.
Yeah, purchases.
No, I think we're kind of back on XP.
Oh no.
It doesn't look like we're getting upgraded.
I think, and going back to Donald Trump, I think he may be a little bit of malware into the system. You know, not to branch too far into politics, but I have a lot of people that I know that are supporting Mr. Trump, and I just cannot, even further to bolster Gary's point that he's proof that this is a computer simulation. Could you have imagined 4 years ago that we would have been saying Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for President of the United States and has a very good chance of winning?
Oh, yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, in fact, just a mere months ago, Rob, you told me it would never happen.
I did.
You promised me. I'm holding you personally responsible for this disaster.
Trust
because
me.
I proposed this concept to you, and you said, no, it'll never happen. No.
Trust me, I'm beating myself up about it.
There's a lot of people doing that.
Oh, man.
So anyway,
Yeah.
back off of politics. Anyway, so keep an eye out for glitches in the system. If you see a black cat walk by twice, that's what's happening when the Matrix, they're trying to change something. So be aware.
Deja vu is never good.
No.
Deja vu is never good.
No. Hey, Keith, what about deja vu?
Never good.
Never
here.
good. Never good. All right, so that's it for our To the Pint segment. It's time for Half Pints Picks of the Week. Keith, hit us with some music.
Oh crap. What am I doing?
So we're supposed to have the podcast, and it's kind of a running thing. The Keith always gets it.
There we go. That's right, Jeremy. Explain it as a running gag that I just keep going. That's right. That makes me sound much more better and creative.
I'm gonna make them an offer he can't refuse. And your enemies will become my enemies. And then they will fear you.
Boy. All right, so here in our Half Pint segment, each of us brings a pick to the table, whether that be a television show, an app, a book, a group, a band, a website, whatever is catching your fancy this week, we're bringing it to you and telling you to check it out. So while we give Jeremy and Scott a chance to think about what their picks might be for the week, let's start with Keith.
Tell you to warn me that pick of the week.
I didn't think about this.
Well, you can start thinking about it. Something you
Right now.
encountered this week that you'd like to tell us about. But we'll come to you guys last. Keith, what's your pick for the week?
My pick this week is a television show. We've recently, in the search for good sitcoms on Netflix or Amazon Prime, something just to, after watching dramas, all the time, we need something to lighten it up a little bit. So in a search for something, I ended up watching a show on the recommendation of a few different people that I never thought I'd get into or like, and it turns out it's just tickling all the right spots for me, possibly because I am in a family of all women, like the premise of this show. But it's Last Man Standing.
Oh, wow!
And oh man, that right before bed that show has not made me laugh once. Every episode makes me laugh at some point out loud. I don't know what it is about that. It just seems to tickle all the right spots. It's stupid, but it's that classic kind of must-see TV kind of sitcom that is just out of place, and it's on Netflix in all the seasons up to last one, and it's definitely worth going through, even though I'm still grumpy about them changing out the daughter after the first season.
I have my in-laws are beating me over the head to watch this show. I've watched like a couple of episodes, and I didn't really get into it, so maybe I have to go and give it another try.
Yeah, I've watched it from the beginning.
I really like Tim Allen, and I enjoyed Home Improvement, kind of for that same reason. It was kind of goofy, silly, don't think too much about it sitcoms.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was really good. So
it's that same thing in kind of an updated setting, but it's a little more heady than that show ever was.
Okay. He gets a lot. He gets very political, I hear.
He does get very political. He's surprisingly political, but it's always light and definitely watchable.
Cool.
So.
All right, Last Man Standing. All right, Gary, what is your pick or picks I see for the week?
Yeah, I'm going to do two because I got a bad and I got a good. So I figure I don't want to leave it with just something bad, so we'll balance that with something good. So we, like Rob, cut the cord. We don't have any television service, no DirecTV, no cable, none of that stuff. And the Warriors were playing a Game 7 in the NBA Western Conference Finals, and I wanted to watch it. So I looked up which of the over-the-top services would have the game. And Sling TV has a service that's $20 a month, and
we have Sling TV.
They had TNT, and so I said, I'll give it a try. They have a free 7-day trial. So I got the app all loaded up on my Roku, signed up, gave them my credit card, the whole 9 yards, went to watch the game, and it sucked. It was so bad. They do not have their content distribution network nailed down. It's probably fine for regular stuff. Actually, the next day I went back to just check a couple channels, and the picture was good and looked fine. But when there is an event on live that you want to watch on one of those channels, it was just abysmal. We couldn't even read the score. The picture quality was so bad that you couldn't read the score on the game. You couldn't follow the ball. You couldn't even see who had the ball at any point in time. Once in a while, it would snap in and be clear, and then it would go away. But the audio was good, so we were able to follow the game with the audio. But Sling definitely needs to get their act together if they want to be an option for people cutting the cord to watch live sporting events. It was just awful.
Yeah, we have Sling, and we've watched several sporting events on it, and there have been times, like Gary says, where it does kind of pixelate out or need to reload or rebuffer itself. I think my experience has been a little bit better than Gary seems to have been. I have fewer complaints, but definitely it's definitely a emerging technology or emerging app.
Yeah.
So,
it was probably one of those things where they did not expect quite so many people to be tuning into the Warriors game.
Maybe so. It was it could be, or it just overloaded the servers.
Bandwidth problems because Rob was probably using it to watch college football, which is probably got 1/10.
Yeah,
viewership.
I'm sure that's it. I'm sure that's it.
College baseball game, but yeah.
Close.
But I guess my point is, if they want to be a viable alternative to
I agree.
satellite,
they got to have that stuff in place and be able to deliver.
That's got to be able to.
But I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that Netflix has had some growing pains like that as well. In the initial days of its streaming service, it had those problems too. So I think they'll get there.
Yeah, but the cost on Netflix was a lot lower than.
Yeah, this is
20.
$20 a month. It's
Yeah.
pricey. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, what's your good pick?
My good pick is X-Men Apocalypse. That came out last weekend, and on Thursday night it was playing here in our town. So my daughter and I, who was still recovering and not having to go to school the next day, went to the movies at night on a weeknight and saw X-Men, and it was phenomenal. It was a really good movie. Yeah.
I've heard really mixed reviews on it.
It's very middle of the road.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that this is the death knell for the X-Men series because after having a string of them just not perform well, this will be the end of it.
No, Days of Future. The last one was a huge hit. Days of Future Past was huge.
But they've had so many other bad ones in the mix.
Yeah, I guess of the reboot, which is X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past and now Apocalypse, this is the weakest of the three, but it was still a really good movie. And what it's doing is setting up the reboot. I mean, it's truly getting all the characters in line for the reboot of X-Men for this next generation.
Sure.
There were times in the movie where I thought that it dragged a little bit, where it was kind of like, let's move it along here. But my daughter, who is 14, and I would argue is the target demographic of rebooting the X-Men franchise, absolutely loved it.
Sure.
Right? So if you're Hollywood and you want to appeal to an audience, appealing to people our age is not necessarily the best thing, and it's not going to get you along long-term revenue.
So wait,
not for that genre.
What you're saying is the teenage daughter who had the surgery, the corrective surgery to straighten and perhaps improve her.
Oh my God!
You're gonna go there? Really liked the X-Men movie, or was it all about altered humans? Is that what you're saying? Well, that's a real tight demographic. That's all I have to say. That's a real.
Oh my God! So I'm saying if you can get a 14-year-old girl to really like your sci-fi action movie, you're doing something right.
And the sad part of that is that this movie and Wolverine 3 that's just started shooting are going to be supposedly the last two appearances of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And if there is one actor or one character that has really held that entire universe together, it's him. So it'll suck to see him go.
That's because he's going to be the next Bond, right?
Yeah,
I wish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, they're saying it's going to be Hiddleston, Tom Hiddleston.
That's not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice. Either.
So Wolverine's part of this movie was very small, and I think it's time for them to get a new Wolverine. So I do want to say one thing. In terms of the younger characters that they're bringing in to play the traditional roles, the guy that they got playing Scott, which is Cyclops with the laser beam eyes, he did a great job. I never liked that character in the other movies. I always thought he was a douchebag. But in this movie, it's a totally different take on him, and it's really good. He's actually one of the most appealing things about this movie.
Incidentally, he will be playing the main character in Ready Player One.
Oh, okay. It's a good choice. All right, so that's my pick.
All right, my pick for the week is also a television series. With cutting the cord and now going into the summertime, we're picking up series that we always wanted to watch and never took the chance. And I watched the first episode of Black Sails on Starz. And Black Sails is a pirate-based serial. Basically, it's like Game of Thrones.
That's a cable channel. Starz.
It's a cable channel that shows. Yeah,
you have to get this thing called a cord, and you have to pay somebody like hundreds of dollars every month to be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
carry on.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's kind of like The Sopranos or the Game of Thrones or Deadwood, but with a pirate theme, and it's really well done. And like right from the jump in the pilot, it gets off and running and establishes the characters really well, and can't wait to see where it goes. A lot of friends that I have who have watched Starz, which I think is Black Sails, which is in its third season now, it just said that the show is amazing. So I'm hoping to do Black Sails and also Vikings, which everyone says is really good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Vikings.
Pirates, like modern day pirates?
No, it's the area Blackbeard, Captain Flint. Yeah, it's early 1700s.
About 3 years ago when it came out on the Red Table. I watched it for a little while.
So yeah, give Black Sails a try. I don't think you will be disappointed. All right, Jeremy and Scott, you've had a long time to think about it. So what are your picks for the week?
All right, my pick is an app called Time Hop. What you do is you connect it to your social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and it will every day it will show you what you were doing a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It's really fun. It's a fun way to remember stuff that you were doing, because I don't remember things very well.
So it's like that annoying memories thing that Facebook does to you, but like you're doing it to yourself on purpose.
Well, yeah, but you control it too. It's
yeah,
not,
that's what I'm saying. You're doing it yourself.
Yeah, you're taking control of it. I think this came out about a year ago because I can remember messing around with it. It is kind of interesting for those of us who have been on the social networks for a long time, because there's a lot of history there of what we were doing and what we were talking about and pictures we were taking and all that. So if you connect it to all the right stuff, it is kind of really interesting to piece together the puzzle that was your part of the simulation back then.
Yeah, definitely better with a lot of history behind it. And it has limitations. It doesn't connect to Flickr right now, which is too bad because that's where most of my social history is.
Well, yeah, but does it do Zoomer?
It's not just,
If it did Zoomer, we'd be all set.
yeah, what, 7 to 5 years ago, and then it all disappears.
How about like Vimeo or?
I don't know if it hooks up to Vimeo either. I don't know. I've got it.
Vimeo is not really social.
I have it hooked up to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Cool. All right, Time Hop. Scott, what's your pick for the week? What do you got?
I have been rereading an old book written by Colin Fletcher. It's called The Man Who Walked Through Time.
Ooh.
He actually, in the 60s, hiked almost completely by himself through the Grand Canyon, south to north. Had airdrops, and really pretty amazing adventure.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Man
Man
Who Walked Through Time.
But he wrote, what was a backpacking book here? Basically, it's like a backpacker's Bible in the 60s.
Okay. So this is a real nonfiction story, right?
Yeah, real nonfiction stories.
So there's no phone booths or
No
Daleks or anything like that.
Nope, just somebody that was crazy enough to quit his job for the summer and decide he should hike through the Grand Canyon.
Very cool. All right.
Is it streaming anywhere?
There's a stream. There's a river in it. That's kind of like streaming.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in Colorado. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you can't. Basically, us geeks, we have not been outside. Clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
So
Hey, I'm outside right now.
there you go.
Oh, that's true. Nice job.
Yes, but based on your face, you shouldn't be.
Where are the mountains? I don't see any mountains.
There's the airplane.
I see a tree.
Tree and clouds.
Good tree.
All right. Well, on that exciting note, let's wind down this episode of the Pioneer of No Return show. Gentlemen, do you have any closing thoughts?
Beer is good.
Someone needs to buy me more Rochfort.
I think you're lost. It's Rochefort.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. All right. Gary, any closing thoughts?
I have no thoughts.
All right. Well, I want to thank Scott for joining us on the show and showing us what what an intelligent Brooks is like.
John.
And
Ouch.
just kidding, Jeremy. Thank you for getting yourself in a position where you could join us. It was good.
Yeah,
So-
it was good.
Didn't want you guys to miss out on the grumpy old man.
Yeah. So where are we going? Where are we going? Thank you. Where are we going with our beers next? Oh, there's someone. Hey. Hi.
This is Sophia.
Was that the artist?
Oh, yeah. Is that the facial artist?
Yep, that's it.
Nice tattoo on your uncle.
Absolutely.
Excellent work on Jeremy.
He's all ready for his prison sentence.
Does she have an email address? I want to send her some ideas. Next time Jeremy falls asleep.
Oh no, definitely. You're gonna want to monitor her email, Scott.
So anyway, beers. Where are we going to go next with our beers?
If you were paying attention to Slack, you would know.
Yeah,
Are we gonna
you need to
camp?
try to find the beer camp for 2016, Rob.
Oh, that one's good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Beer camp. All right.
Yeah, it's a mix pack out of Sierra that they do every year. We've done previous beer camps, but this is a good one. 2016.
Okay.
It's got like 6 different beers in it. Ought to hold us through the fall, actually.
We will see if we can find it. All right. So, gentlemen and lady, that's going to close us out for episode 14, season 3 of the Pioneer Return Show. Knock us out, Keith.
Right on that one.
I prefer to confer with a half pint of ale than live a long life till my private parts fail. For life without liquor is to no avail, so bring me lager for life. I'd rather have lager than life. I'll take a strong stout over strife.
Now we get a beer.
We know Kung Fu.
Okay, it's just a